Welcome to Two Tall Guys Talking Sales. I'm your host for this session. I'm Sean.
And I'm Kevin.
And together we're going to talk about a unique problem that you might be having in your sales process and your sales world. This 15 minutes is designed for salespeople, sales managers, and CEOs of the company that are trying to increase their revenue and trying to be more productive in your sales processes. So let's get started.
Today, we're a little bit different. We have a guest with us, and Kevin actually was not able to make a recording session today. I guess it's one guy talking sales. I don't know. But my guest today is Enrico Parodi. Enrico is also a fractional sales consultant. He helps companies out. So Enrico, welcome to the podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. And Enrico, can you tell us a little bit quickly about who you are and a little bit of your background?
Hey, good morning, Sean. First of all, thank you very much for having me in your event. My name is Enrico. I live here in Southern California. I'm Italian. You can hear that from my accent that will never go away. I've been in corporate for 30 years in different parts of the world and in different capacities. I joined the Sales Acceleration Network 5 years ago, and I help small and medium business companies to build up and run efficient and high-performing selling organizations.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. We talked about you discussing an ideal client profile. Talk to us about that. What is so important about that kind of concept?
About the ideal client profile, but the concept is that if you want to achieve your business goals, you need to go after the part of the market where you have the highest chances for success. And that means that you need clearly to define to yourself and to your company which is that ideal customer you want to go after, so that you can solve their problem at best, you can differentiate yourself, and you can win in the market.
Very good. And then we also talked a little bit about the ideal coverage model for that. And I assume that has something to do with the salespeople and how you compensate your salespeople, how you motivate your salespeople. So let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yes, I mean, when I work with my customer, they have several challenges. I mean, the first challenge is really once they have defined their business goals, and many times they don't have clear business goals, but let's assume that they have clear business goals. Then the question is, how do we pursue those business goals? What do we develop or put in place as a sales organization to go after that? And the build-up of a sales organization is a combination, in my view, of skills and roles. Let me elaborate about that. As far as the skills are concerned, there are different roles that have to be played in a sales organization. There are people that manage accounts, that are people that go after new accounts, there are people that do business development. All those roles have to be defined. Many times they require different sales compensation and different quotas or sales goals. Ideally, if your sales organization can be of a certain size, you need to go through a specialization of the different roles that require different skills. The other component is the roles per se. I usually talk to my customer about the concept of the sales machine. The concept of the sales machine is really the following. You have different sales resources at different cost to your company. A business development rep costs less than a corporate executive, account executive person, right? And so you want to apply the right resource for the job. To have a senior salesperson doing cold calling, it's not an effective way of using your money. When you look at your coverage model, you need to ask yourself, which is the best way to do the different tasks in the sales process? And what type of resources should I hire as full-time employee? Sometimes you can outsource part of the job. So you pay for a service, but what type of resources should I use in order to get this task? What do I need to use to get appointments? What do I need to use to, if you're selling software, to get to a demo? And again, what do I need to use to close complex projects? These are different tasks to be done by different people. So the combination of the skills and the roles is going to drive how you're going to develop and lay out your coverage model. In addition to that, there are other considerations. There are obviously considerations related to your product portfolio or solution portfolio. There are considerations on the geography or industry that you have to include. At the end of the day, you need to look at all these dimensions in order to come up with the best way to achieve your goals.
Very interesting. A lot of my clients, and I'm probably your clients because I think they're kind of the same size of clients, we don't have a lot of salespeople a lot of times in our organization. My clients tend to be, less than 10 salespeople, a lot of times less than 5, sometimes only 2 or 3 salespeople in an organization. Give me some best practices or ideas on how do you divide that load when you have 2 or 3 salespeople, and do you actually say, well, you're going to be the business development person and you're going to be the corporate account guy? How do you divide that load? Because that can be really challenging when you just don't have that many resources to divide up.
This is also common to my customers. In a sales organization with 2 or 3 people, you need to find some kind of compromise. And the answer is really different customer by customer. But let's discuss about a possible solution. You want your salespeople to be in charge of maximizing the business on your customers, that is retention and expansion job, and then be engaged in the acquisition on your account. Now, so they are accountable for that. Does this mean that they do all the job? Not necessarily. You need to figure out which are the best jobs to get to those goals. Let's talk about acquisition. For example, I have a customer today where their salespeople have been used to receive inbound calls on, and they operate on inbound calls. Now they need to go outbound, especially because we are bringing to market different offers. How do we use their part of their time to generate pipeline without underutilizing themselves? What we are doing for the specific company is really 2 things. We are going to put in place a networking play. These people are going to be spending time with association networking and finding referrals because their business can be done via referrals. I'm putting them on referrals because we know that the referrals are warm leads. The chances to go to close a referral are much higher than just trying to reach out someone on LinkedIn or cold call them, right? The second play is, they never done this, we are going to work with partnerships with some other companies, and this partnership, again, we are going to bring referrals. The difference being that in this case, we can refer those companies and they can refer us. So it becomes a partnership. I am not going to ask to these people to call. I'm not asking to these people to reach out and spend time on LinkedIn to get people to talk to them on LinkedIn. That is a task that we will use marketing things to do, or some other companies that just produce the contact and the people willing to speak to them as a result. That is a situation where we have 2 salespeople, we are going to expand to 4, but we will focus the salespeople not only on closing, but also generating, prospecting on the referral side. On reaching out the market, we are going to use marketing function. That's an example, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't mean that you have to hire people always, but you need to decide which is the entity that is the best to do that job. And do I spend less by hiring someone to do business development and then closing the opportunities versus just having my salespeople to do everything from A to Z?
It's interesting you say this because I'm actually going through that exact same process with one of my clients right now, where I'm trying to teach them how to generate partnerships and generate referrals because they really have never done that. Some of them have, one or two of the salespeople have great networks, and everybody else is like, I don't know why he or she is so great. When I interviewed them, it's really obvious. They get all their business through referrals, and they have great partnerships that are giving them referrals, and they keep on getting recommended to new clients, and that's why they're doing great. We need to make that a program so that we can totally do that across the board, and everybody's doing it. One of the things that we are actually implementing is within the CRM system that we implemented, rather than just do deals that are going through, deals that we're going to close, we now have a separate pipeline that is about how are you doing on working with referrals and what are you doing to cultivate those referrals. I'm curious if you've done anything like that before in the past.
Listen, you are still in my world because we are doing exactly the same. I mean, all these people that they are going to meet in a networking event, they are going to be new contacts. We are part of different associations. We did really an analysis of which are the most effective association in the industry we want to target, right? We enter into these associations, we will get contacts, we want to have the contact in CRM, but in addition to that, when we get referrals and this becomes deals, we also want to know which type of referral gave us that lead, right? So we know if an association is more effective than another, right? So you're absolutely right. I mean, you need to manage these networking a little bit like campaigns, right? Campaigns to develop a relationship and to get to refer.
For anybody listening to our podcast right now, this is something that every company can do. All you need to do is set up in your CRM system. Most CRM systems will let you have multiple types of pipelines. Set up in your CRM system and categorize your people you're talking to as customers, people that are going to buy from you, they're buying your product, as well as people that influence that buying process. I don't care what it is. Are they architects? Are they office salespeople? Are they commercial real estate people? Whatever is important to your customer that they confide to that type of salesperson, those are the people you want to generate a relationship with. And you want to now track and get to know those people and become friends with those people and share leads, if that makes sense, with those people so that your business just grows. And it's such an easy thing, but it does require that the owner, the CEO of the company thinks, I need to spend time on that activity, not just on reaching out to customers and trying to close the deal.
I totally agree. I think if you want to grow your business, you need to do things different. In order to do things differently, you need to create a different world also for your salespeople as CEO. So you need to think, what is that world? You want a world of referral people that give you high value referral. And in order to do that, you need to do a totally different job than just trying to close deals, right? As a matter of fact, you don't have to try to close anything. You need just to show up and ask how you can help, because really through that approach, you are going to be.
I agree 100%. This has been awesome. Thank you very much. People are going to want to say, hey, I need to learn more about this concept. I need to talk to Enrico. How do they get a hold of you?
Oh, thank you so much. My name is Enrico, last name Parodi, Parodi. I'm sure that Sean will send you my contact information. My phone number is 310-503-9775. I'm here on the Pacific, but I support clients all across the country. Call me if you want to learn more.
That's awesome. And can they reach out to you on LinkedIn as well?
Of course, yes. I'm sorry. Yes, my link, Enrico Parodi in the United States. I'm the only one.
Good, very good. Yeah, and I'll put that in the show notes. I'll put your LinkedIn profile into the show notes as well, so people can just scroll down into your show notes when you're listening to this podcast, and you'll see Enrico's contact information there. Enrico, this has been great. I think you've given a lot of value to our clients, our listeners, and I can see why you're so successful at helping small companies generate new revenues. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome, and thanks for the opportunity today. Have a great day, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
joining us on this podcast of Two Tall Guys Talking Sales. We hope that we were able to share some valuable insight, valuable knowledge with you to make your selling adventures easier and more successful. Please join us every week. We drop these on Tuesday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Please subscribe to us in your favorite podcast player. Also, please join us on LinkedIn, where we do a CEO workshop, and that CEO workshop is dedicated monthly to big questions that CEOs are having and how to grow their business and drive sales. You can find us on LinkedIn. Just search for Two Tall Guys Talking Sales. Thank you very much. Have a great day.